tell us about what you think the Speaker needs to do.
Oh, that's right. I've been very concerned about what's happening in the House of Representatives, but much more concerned about what's going to happen in the House of Representatives than I am about who is going to fill that role. In this piece that I wrote in The Federalist last week, I explained that change is coming to Washington. Whether we like it or not, the American people are demanding more of their government. They're demanding, in fact, that their government change in much the same way that industry is changing. I make the comparison to Uber. The American people have become accustomed through technology to having more services that are provided specifically to them, tailored to them, decentralized, so that rather than calling a big consolidated taxi cab company in many parts of the country, they just take out their smartphone and they summon an Uber. That same kind of decentralization trend, that same kind of disruptive innovation trend is now coming to Washington, D.C. And the old model of centralized power, whereby the Speaker of the House accumulates a lot of power and wields it very carefully, decides who gets votes on what kind of amendment, who decides what kind of legislation will be given consideration within Congress and what kind won't, that's all falling away. That's all going away. Because the American people and members of Congress that they have elected are demanding decentralization of power. So we need to accept this change. We need to welcome it rather than resist it. And I encourage my colleagues in the House of Representatives, my counterparts on the other side of the Capitol, to look very carefully at who they choose to replace John Boehner as Speaker, but to focus even more intently on how they set up the power structure there, on making sure that what that person does reflects the will of the American people and reflects the changing needs within our government.